Q.
How are you? What's your name?
I'm JQ.
You never said it. I was just waiting.
Yeah, it's just
Doesn't
not.
seem like we start a video until you say your name. I feel like if we don't both say it, then we can't do it. So
It's not like these live streams aren't the same as other videos. They're not like
I
they
know,
start
but
them
still,
from
it's
people
just
just pop in and pop
it's
out.
for me. It's for
Oh,
me.
okay. Hi, I'm
I get.
JQ.
Oh, hey JQ. Hey, thanks for getting me this shirt.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
I really like it. And a big shout out to Clean the World who sent those shirts to us. We're going to be doing something with them in some form very soon, right?
Very cool.
We'll leave that, but they're an awesome organization that basically helps people in need of hygiene get affordable
Yeah,
hygiene. So it's
they
a great place
do
to donate to. We're going to do something with them to
they
help provide hygiene kits for the most needy.
yeah, they do soap and hygiene kits and hygiene education for the most vulnerable populations all across the world.
It's
And they
awesome.
are they are the real deal. I spoke to the executive director on the phone. He's an awesome guy and he was genuinely passionate and amazing. We should
Nice.
we should just if people
Yeah,
are
great.
just
I'll link it right now.
yeah,
Send
link
people
that
that.
because
Awesome.
people want to know, you want to know when you giving some money, even if it's $5, these guys can do a lot with $5. It's amazing. So if you're like one of those people like, I want to give my $5, but I want to make sure that 450 of it isn't going back into the company and only 50 cents goes to people. These guys, these guys 95 to 97% of their donations go to the people in need. That's
That's awesome.
amazing. So it's
Well,
yeah, it's incredible.
cool. Well,
Let's
it's
have some
also a
tea. You
really
ready?
nice
I
T-shirt.
know
So
it's really soft.
if
They
you
made a good
donate and get
shit.
your hands on one of these, do that too.
You
It's
got
super soft and it's funny. It makes my kids laugh, makes people laugh as I walk around work.
and so you got two amazing reasons to be happy today. You're wearing a super soft, awesome shirt, and we get to drink your favorite tea.
We do. On a gorgeous day, by the way, 70 degrees in Chicago in April.
It's
Um,
always 70 in my basement.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's always sunny in Philadelphia. It's always 70 in your basement. Yes. Um, yeah. But anyway, we're having a gorgeous day outside. We are in masks and gloves and socially distanced, receiving our huge German
Oh, it
container,
came
our
in.
European container. The first half of it is coming in today. So for any of you who love hard to find products, especially some things we've been out of, they will be back in stock soon, which I'm
What
super
are
excited
what
about.
are people? I'm gonna open the shade in here. What are the people freaking out the most about the German shipment?
Well, given that everyone is worried about coughs and respiration, the Tannenblut pine, herbal syrup is in high demand.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
And so I feel like I don't know how much is pre-sold, but um, that'll go out the door fast.
What about like tins of the old school thick Nivea cream? You got? Are you out of those, or you got?
No, I think some of it, but I'm not. I don't remember off the top of my head. But one thing I'm very excited about, and I feel like it seems like we can't go a day since we've been started this tea thing without talking about Maria Traben. But this new, sorry for my camera, this new Maria Traben Schwedenbitter
Oh yeah,
is
we
in,
talked
and I
about
saw
this.
it today, and it's awesome.
Is
I
it?
can't wait to. The bottle is so cool, and it has a picture of Maria on there, and
That's
it's really
awesome.
cool. So it's not up on the site yet, but we'll do it as fast as possible because that's pretty great. That said, those are all things I'm excited about. But what I'm most excited about is the fact that we are drinking my favorite tea in the universe. Sorry for this messy. We use these old school paper containers. We've been using them for over 100
Don't
years.
apologize for that. That's great.
It's green tea, China, Wu Yuan, Jasmine. Uh, so I looked up some of this stuff. I'm not sure. Forgive my pronunciation if you are a Mandarin speaker or other Chinese language speaker. I'm not trained in that. But Wu Yuan, although it sounds like Wuhan, is a different thing. It's a province. It's a county in the. I have this up. Hold on one second. The Jiangxi province, I believe. Jiangxi province.
Hey, that's not bad
And it
pronunciation. You're doing
is
okay, man.
well known for this particular type of tea, which is chunmi green tea or chunmei. I've heard different pronunciations, but again, that's not my.
We've heard different mispronunciations of this word.
I've heard many different mispronunciations, so I'm picking one of them. But it is,
Oh,
and what they do is they hand pick jasmine blossoms, let it sit in the tea, and then hand pluck them back out after they let them sit for a certain amount. Sometimes you'll see a blossom, but
there's
in
little
general,
pieces of purple in there still.
not, yeah, mine doesn't really have it. Those are different colors of green, but the blossoms generally aren't in there. Sometimes you see a tiny one. And my understanding from the supplier of this tea is that this is hand plucked out of there so that you don't even have the blossoms. You have a pure green tea, chunmi green tea, which is also called, I think, precious eyebrows. Because if you look, the leaves are shaped like little, they have sort of the curve of an eyebrow, which my eyebrows are large and very precious. So I appreciate that.
You are not precious. Yours are not
No,
precious.
no, mine are. I can give some away and still have plenty. Um, but anyway, this is an incredible tea. So it has this aroma of jasmine, which is just, I don't know. I think probably my favorite fragrance, my favorite anything in the world, pretty much. It's like I love jasmine so much, and I love this tea so much. I honestly don't think I've ever tasted a better tea in the world anyway. This is
It's
organic, by the way, certified organic tea on top of that.
this is just the aroma on this tea is out of this world. Like this fresh, earthy, grassy notes of the green tea, and
Mhm.
then this not like sweet high floral. It is a wet and mid floral. It's a dewy dank floral that is
Yeah,
nice. I love
you
it.
get the true scent of jasmine, and it doesn't taste like jasmine. Do you know what I mean? It's
No,
like
it tastes bitter green. You get the bitter
so.
green.
Chunmi tea is considered an acidic. Like green tea can have a natural sweetness, which is kind of that grassiness. This is more of um, an acidic, almost tannic kind of sense of green tea,
For
and
sure.
they call it a stronger green tea. They say this kind of tea can be used. It's so some green tea is so light that it really kind of loses. If you ice it, it loses too much flavor and kind of becomes watery. This is a great. I've done it before. This is a fantastic tea for making iced green tea.
I know. I make this every summer.
Yeah. And then on top of that, chunmi tea is generally considered strong enough to stand up to milk or honey in a tea form, in a hot tea, or I guess probably iced if you wanted to make a latte
Yeah,
kind of
for
tea.
sure.
But in general, that's pretty unique among green tea. And I would just say I have this every day pretty much of my. I would say I have it probably 347 out of 365 days in a year. No joke. If I don't have it, those are probably what I just say. Those are 19 of my worst days of the year. Are those 19 days that I don't have this tea? And again, no joke, not an exaggeration. I can have a great day, and if I don't have this tea, my great day is like made 25% less great.
I think it was 18, but okay.
Those are all scientifically proven numbers, by the way.
Um, he was clearly talking about a leap year because he's that added up to 366. So it was this year actually you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I knew we were in a leap year, dude. If I'm that precise with my numbers, you don't think I'm also precise
When you
knowledge.
make iced tea, do you find like do you make it hot and then refrigerate it, or do you cold brew it? Like, because some people don't like when you make it hot and refrigerate it, it turns cloudy, you know,
Yeah,
and it's
I
not as
have done
aesthetic.
that.
It's not as aesthetically pleasing, but I don't have the patience, so I just do it.
Yeah, I'm usually not a person who plans ahead of time well enough to do that. So I would say, in general, what I do is get a really thick glass, make the tea in my regular teacup, brew it. Which I mean, we'll talk about green tea, a few other things in a second. But then I will then get a big cup of ice, slowly pour it over there. As the ice melts, I'll add some more ice because I'm impatient. And that usually takes half of this cup. So I have like 2 big cups of iced tea when I make this.
Oh yeah, well remember when we talked to Sam Ritchie that one time, he was saying you make it double strong if you're gonna ice it right away, right?
Well, I realized when I was doing research about how the chutney tea and how little they expect you to use, I'm probably making mine double or triple strong
Yeah.
every day anyway.
You're
So
you're American, you can't help it.
yeah, but what I will say, so there's some hellos. Mary Josephine, hello. Leonardo, we'll do a shaving one soon, I promise. Thanks for saying hi. I know we've been long absent on the shaving tip for a long time.
It might be a while.
Yeah,
Just
but
saying, it
we'll
might
do
be.
we'll do something with men's grooming, shaving, beard, whatever. And then yes, high in EGCG um, is green tea is one of the great things about it is EGCG, which is has longevity benefits, antioxidant. It's sort of like the youthful sort of one of the youthful promoting qualities of green tea.
Right, like
But
it's
what I
like
was going to
a.
say is,
They talk about
what were we talking
cardiovascular,
about?
right?
I don't remember. I'm too happy right now. I don't remember exactly what it
Oh,
was.
good. That's good to hear.
I mean, this is just the best. Oh yeah, but so when you make it, what I was going to say is, if you're going to make green tea, um, especially with a strong one like this, I know this sounds nitpicky, and you don't have to like get a thing that tells exact temperature, but don't use boiling water.
Yeah, I know for sure.
It makes a big difference. When I make this with boiling water, it tastes kind of scorched, and it gets very bitter if it's too hot, especially on this tea. Some green teas, I feel like it's okay, but it never tastes as good. So I'm thinking like if you were gonna be temperature sensitive, it would be like 195 as like where you want it. But basically, if I boil the water because I don't catch it ahead of time, so when I make it out of a glass, you know, teapot at home that goes on the stovetop, and I watch it, and when I see it sort of getting to that shimmery state, that's when I stop it. If I let it boil, I let it cool back down for a few minutes before I pour it.
Cool,
So,
cool. Yeah, that's what I usually do too. If I can catch it beforehand, but I don't have a clear, so I can't see when it's about to boil either.
I have a clear one. I'll try and link it up afterwards. A clear one. That's one of my favorite things we have. It's like,
Is
it
that
looks
your
like,
restaurant one? It's like the diner one, right?
yeah, it has like markings on it. Looks like it came out of a chemistry lab, basically.
It looks to me like Sanders, like
Yeah, yeah.
where you would pour the coffee out of at like a diner, right?
Yeah, like your typical Sunday Greek diner kind of place, like that's what it is. It looks like that, which
Hey, Anthony Mosley, what's up?
Mose man, what up, son? And I'm looking. Disco Lady says I was trying something out by putting hibiscus leaves and honey for my tea. Yeah, hibiscus is awesome,
Hibiscus is amazing. Super
especially in the
high
summer. It's
vitamin
getting warmer like
C.
today.
We love hibiscus. We'll do that soon, I think. We'll
Yeah,
do it when it gets truly warm. We'll get some hibiscus. Maybe we'll make the native tea, the
yeah,
native iced tea. Maybe we can make like a sugar-free version of the native iced tea. That'd be awesome.
you will perfect it, I'm
I'll
sure.
make a big pot and I'll send it over to the apothecary.
Nice. Um, so
Oh, look
my
at
mom
this,
just wrote
mom.
in
Good tip.
black tea brand Taifu and Red Rose won't cloud up when refrigerated, which is good to know because my mom is the person who does take the time to do it right. She actually heats it, but she puts it in she makes a huge pitcher. And so if you're over at her house when the weather's nice, there's always great clear iced tea in the fridge.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
The other thing I was thinking was it's not like it's a lot of effort to throw the tea into a jug and leave it on my back porch. So I'm gonna try this season, try some of our loose teas and try and make them clear and see what the perfect recipe is, and then I can share that with everybody.
Yeah, that said, like in the sun, I think is one of those things that there are two things to say about it. I'm not super sensitive about this, but a lot of people believe that I mean it's you are creating a bacteria environment. So if your water or there's something in there, when you let it sit in the sun, you forget about it. People don't realize that like that could be an issue. So I've heard people talk about probably not the best way to do it if there is a contaminant in there.
I don't
And
necessarily
second of
even
all,
need to put it in the sun. I can just put it into cold water, make a cold water infusion is what I'm saying, more than anything.
yeah, what they were saying is like that. I've heard people also say there's not really an appreciable difference if you just stick it in the fridge to begin with and let it steep in there just because it's cold.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool.
Um, Hey, Therese. Anyway, I wanted to. The other thing I want to say is just I think bad green tea for a lot of Americans, especially, gets a bad rap because they generally have grabbed some green tea in a bag and poured boiling hot water over it, and then they taste
Bitter,
that
bitter,
bitterness
bitter.
that comes
Yeah.
out when you get it too hot.
It
You know.
should be a pleasant palate cleansing bitterness, you know?
I
It
mean,
should
there's a
be
slight bitterness, but I don't think of it as bitter. I just think of it as kind of an earthy. It tastes really balanced in this.
yeah, but there's like sort of a dry tannic element to it that I find like really pleasant, and I see if you were to go full boiling or steep it too long,
Yeah,
you can see exactly where it would turn and go over that
yeah.
hump, you know.
I 2 minutes less than boiling, 195
There should be,
approximately.
somebody says there should be machines for tea like there is for cappuccinos. There really should.
Well, in a sense there is. Since you steep it, like you don't need the machine to do the work, but you do have like the Zojirushi or whatever, right? Zorushi.
Zoji
Um,
Rushi.
those they have tea hot pots that are essentially dialable where you can dial in your exact temperature so you can like dial it up for
Yeah, I
black
mean
tea,
that
dial it down for green
that's
tea.
cool, but wouldn't it be awesome if you also had a chamber and you put in the tea and then it steeped it for the right amount of time and then you pop out the thing and just drink the
Yes.
perfect tea?
Well, I mean, like if you want to go that way, you can get a K cup with green tea in there, dehydrated, and
K
do it.
cups. We
But
don't
I
like
feel
K
like part of it
cups.
is pouring it over the tea leaves and then like smell it, especially with this tea.
Not
I
only
want
that,
the I want the jasmine wafting to come in.
it's a great idea actually, and it should happen in a glass thing so you can watch it. Like that would be gorgeous. Like I think maybe we got a little Indiegogo idea here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, isn't that what a glass vessel with a tea strainer is?
No, no, no. I'm saying like you got this like cappuccino machine type thing, right? You turn it on, you say what kind of tea or what temperature you want, what level, and then you put it in the one chamber. And when the water gets that hot, it drops it in. You watch it steep, and then it beeps when it's 2 minutes, and you pull your cup out and drink. That would be amazing.
Maybe. I don't know. You know me. I have like a tech ring that tells me my sleep. I have tech everything. I can unlock and open up my house and like
I'm
do
not
everything
saying
on
it's
my
for
phone right
everybody.
now. But that's one thing that I feel like, you've crossed the line, buddy. You've crossed the line.
Yeah, I feel like, dude. I'm just saying there's a market for it.
Hey, Colleen. Colleen Ebervine is on
Colleen
the line.
Ebervine. Hey, it's an acquired
Right.
taste. I agree. Where she's drinking green tea with us. Cheers,
Here's to
Colleen.
you.
Nice.
uh, anyway, cool. How nice to have all these people join.
I know.
Um, Silver lining of being on lockdown, I gotta say, is all these nice people shouting out. So, Jay, I want to return to something that we were talking about yesterday because I texted you that book this morning. Yesterday, we talked with our mom about disappointment, and I brought up Stoicism.
Yeah, I remember.
You check out that book? Did you look at the title or anything?
Yeah, I looked at it.
I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
looked
being,
at. I
are you
looked.
being
I was
stoic?
being stoic. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, is that your stoic?
Yeah, that was my stoic
Jay?
face. Yeah, I did. I got the link. I haven't checked it yet, but you said it's a free read and it takes 20 minutes, right?
Well, it was free on. I did it on Kindle. It's just free, and it's called The Good Life Handbook. Uh, hey, Matthew Scholar, Big Brother Matthew, someone
Big
up.
bro Sco. We should get him coming on. He loves tea. In
I know.
fact, his
He would
favorite.
school us.
If I'm not, am I Darjeeling? Is he a Darjeeling guy? What's his favorite?
Matthew, what's your favorite
Matthew,
tea?
what is his favorite? He's like it's not Darjeeling. I'm gonna be stupid now, but it's because it's a Chinese tea, I think. But he is a big fan of tea, and we should
I
have him
know.
on, and he can play with us one time. That'd be great.
Matthew, shout us out if you'll do that, please. Um, we'll set up later this week. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just that book, that Good Life Handbook. I read it this morning, literally before I got out of bed. It's about 25 minutes, and what the comment I will say is for anyone who wants some advice on how to deal with things right now, it was a good read, really fast. and it's a nice crossover. It's sort of like stoicism
Oolong,
and the
oolong. He's an oolong guy. I
nice.
remember. Ah,
It seems like the Western counterpart to mindfulness Buddhist practices, um, because it's all about like you can only control what you can control. Do you know what I mean? Like you should look at everything in your life whenever you're feeling something and be like, can I control that? And what can you control? You really can control how you respond to things, and that's about all. So like if you can't control it, stop stressing about it. And it gives all these exercises for like ways to help get out of that. So the name of the book is The Good Life Handbook, I believe. And it's a kind of Western update of a classic, what was called the Handbook, which was a classic text of Stoicism. We'll link it up. Anyway,
I'll forward it to Greta right now.
the
So,
other
so
thing
she
that
has
you
it.
can control is making tea. So it made me think about that of like, what can you control when you're feeling bad or feeling good? You can decide to enhance it with green tea, which is what we're doing today.
Yeah, Matthew, I was right. Oolong and fresh green tea.
Nice. Oolong is, we got to do an oolong episode.
Yeah, that would be great. I think we should do oolong and harmonica playing with him.
Yeah.
He could take us, and because he sells cognac and all the tasting notes and everything, he's a great person to taste with. Because we'll taste like 50 things we didn't know were in there. Because he'll walk us through it.
I know. I know.
Um,
I always enjoy that. And I was, speaking of playing harmonica, I listened to Hoodoo Man Blues, Matthew, the other night with
oh,
my
nice.
kids, Junior Wells. One of the best albums in my mind ever. And yeah, Colleen's drinking Numi Gunpowder Green. Nice. Yeah, Gunpowder and Chun Mi are similar in that they're kind of have a similar taste profile, I think, and are on the kind of like stronger side than some of the grassier, lighter green teas, if I remember correct.
What else is
Anyway,
up, T? What else is up, man? Talk to me. I got a little bit left in my cup.
I don't know. I think it's going to be really hard for people to stay inside and do this thing while the weather gets this nice. I feel like I buy into the idea that even if we don't know what's going on, we need to just stay safe and like flatten the curve. I 100% buy into that, and I'm doing it. But this is dangerous getting this much nice weather because I feel, a stirring in my soul
I know.
to get out and be out. And I want to go like,
I
I've been
said to
telling you, I
Greta,
want
I
to
go,
go
I go,
hug your
I
kids.
go, I go, I
I
go.
want
It's
to,
real easy to shelter in place when the weather sucks, but when it's nice, it's gonna get a little iffier, and then you're gonna like get outside, and anytime you're outside right now, the stress level's higher, and then this juxtaposition of like I finally feel good, and then people being like, keep your distance, or you don't have a mask
yeah,
on, like just like like
yeah,
you
yeah.
just like everyone just wear your masks, so nobody has to deal with the.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the bad looks. Also, presume positive intent from everybody.
Yeah, because you can't see, a lot of our cues are from facial, like when somebody says something with a smile, it can be so different than
Yeah,
like, like, oh, go ahead. If you don't see this and I'm like, oh, go ahead. You're like, that guy's mad at me because I'm
right.
going in front of him. But what if I was like this? Go ahead. Like you have no
Yeah,
idea. I'm just
yeah,
offering you to go first.
yeah. So we're gonna have to watch out for each other. I think I just want a tea question. Hi, Therese. Again, so much. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you're learning something from this. I am too. We're kind of just taking it off the top of the dome as we go. Leonardo asks, "Are we a fan of Earl Grey?" I don't think I've
Oh.
met a tea that I don't like, to be
Yeah, no,
honest.
this is not a people who there's a very big divide in the morning between English breakfast people and Earl Grey people, but I love the citrus element that Earl Grey brings.
Even with like the bergamot.
Yeah, because it's got that like orange peel. It's just because I don't do like orange juice anymore. It just gives me a little citrus in the morning that I just love. I think
Yeah,
Excellent. It
I
does.
find it to be
Yeah.
a little of that tannic drying out. I love it, but I don't do it that often because I find that it makes me feel massively dehydrated
It's a
when I
little
drink
more
it.
dehydrating, and when you're in, it particularly, mom would say with the green tea, I mean with the iced tea, much prefer the English breakfast.
Yeah,
It just makes a cleaner green tea, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have. I I don't know. I can talk about tea all day.
Go
There
for
was
it.
something else I wanted to say about what we were talking about before.
We were talking about getting outside and assume positive intent, facial cues. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm reading what Matthew said.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. He has some amazing green. Matthew's telling great, amazing green tea his buddy bought from Beijing before got out before the pandemic. Um, I would love some Matthew. And then Hoodoo Man Blues changed the way blues music was recorded. Seminal recording, my Bible.
Yeah. I was gonna say when you
Thanks.
said Hoodoo Man, I'm like, I bet that's his
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
his scriptures. Yeah.
yeah. No doubt. Worthy scripture, my friend. And Therese, green tea with mint leaves. It's funny that you bring that up. So I was lucky enough during college, like 2.5 decades
I
ago,
know where you're going with this.
to
Morocco.
live in Morocco
Yeah.
for a month with two different families during like a winter break. And Moroccan green tea is amazing. And generally it's made with
A
mint
lot of
leaves and
sugar.
sugar, but there is, and usually people are smoking something like keef while they drink it up in these mountain bazaars, which I've heard about. Anyway, but in general, this is chunmi is a great and often used mixed with mint to make like a green mint tea. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do it with the jasmine version, but a
Why
chunmi
not? I would
tea.
love that. I think that would be great
I just
together.
think you lose the jasmine with the mint, but maybe
Yeah,
we'll
mint
try
and
it.
jasmine to me is a lovely mix. I'm a big fan of that scent. In fact, one of the products we're working on has mint and jasmine, and I love it.
Yeah,
So,
we are going to be coming out with something. We're
yeah,
not ready for it yet, but
we have a big announcement probably by the end of this week. We're doing
and
our
let's say end of next week just to be sure.
It's gonna be the end of this week,
Okay.
and we're gonna be launching a new thing that you can get in at the base level of a new product,
Yeah, it's
and
super exciting. We've been working on it for a long time. I can't wait. There's going to be some fun stuff coming up.
yeah, coming to you
Leonardo coming
from
at us from Montreal, Canada.
Montreal. Nice.
Nice. Um, it's funny. That's actually you. Thank you for saying about the international audience and other people from the world. Um, One of the great things about our apothecary, where I'm speaking to you from right now, is sort of the international base. And I was thinking about this today as I was drinking tea. I was thinking we're drinking Chinese tea. Japanese green tea is also another favorite of mine. We are Indian, Pakistani in background, and tea is deep in our blood in that sense. Our mom is not that, but is one of the biggest tea lovers that I know. And then in our business, so it's like just international. I feel like at a time like this where we're looking at like what's happening in these countries, and there is sort of a tendency to sort of look around and have a wall up. Being international in our business, in my mindset, in the people that we talk to, in throughout everywhere, it's like one of the joys that I have in life. It's like we have Damaris who's Romanian, grew up in Austria, is answering the phones for us right now, speaks at least 3 languages. Therese is talking about her Egyptian family enjoying mint tea with lots of sugar. I agree. I prefer no sugar as well. But man, a good mint sweet tea is pretty great.
Cafe
Um,
Mogador.
but
Oh man.
I think at the apothecary we speak maybe about 13 languages fluently right
Yeah.
now, and it's one of the things that I love the most about this business is the fact that we get to meet people and use products from around the world and just kind of talk about
Well,
the amazing traditions.
and man, like, what a you know what an interesting time it is right now because like we're coming out of some we're I hope coming out of some very divisive times. The most I've seen, and maybe I'm most sensitive to it now, but it feels like it's at a fever pitch right now, or was just before this happened, and it's amazing when something like this pandemic comes into effect. The neighbor that you kind of were like, yeah, that guy, those people, a little bit is you're like that guy's not a bad guy,
That guy's your
and
neighbor.
that guy's my neighbor, and we're all looking out for each other in a really special way right
It's
now.
funny that you say that. I had a great talk with one of my neighbors today on the way out the door from his balcony to me on the street.
And,
And it was just nice.
and I feel like one of the gifts you and I have is that our mom and dad come from very different places, and at the time that they came together, probably was not I know it was not a very common bond,
You
and
mean Pakistani, Indian, German,
yeah.
American isn't at what everyone is?
Yeah, no. So, but I mean, it's funny, but I'm being serious. Like the where most I feel like innate in what we received from that, we're so lucky, is that we see a bridge where other people see a divide. And what a gift that you also have this business where that's true as well. And these products, these Chinese products and Japanese products and German products and Austrian products and Hungarian products all live in the same space and belong in that same space. What an awesome thing that, and who else could do that but you? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I mean, I hope a lot of people can do it, but I
no,
know
but
what
I
you
mean,
mean.
who else could cultivate that besides like our family, dad, not seeing a divide between these things and saying,
Well,
when he
I
sees
think
a product, dad, he goes,
I know.
we must have that. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah.
we
From a
need,
product standpoint, that's what we do well.
he
I
is a
would agree.
mixing pot
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
curation.
But I think from a mindset, it's something that everyone can do, and a lot of people do. And I think that that's something that that's what you're tapping into right now. And as far as the divisiveness thing, I will just say, having read last year, I read the auto or listened to it probably while I was doing other stuff. I read a lot, but I listen too. But the biography, not autobiography, the big biography of Ulysses S. Grant, and I did a Lincoln one as well. And if you think when you hear about them like chopping off body parts in the Senate when they attack each other, you will not think that divisiveness is limited to this time or great. Like there was literally mortal attacks in Congress between factions. Not to make light of what's going on, just to kind of say uh, things aren't what they used to be. If you ask me, I'd say they never were.
A wise man once said.
To quote a wise man, I once said.
Yeah, it's easy, I think, sometimes to be a self-obsessed as a society, as if the changes happening during our time are the most relevant to history
Yeah,
because they're personally most relevant to you because you're
yeah,
alive
yeah,
right now, like,
yeah.
but you got to zoom out a little bit. I think a good tip for everybody right now and a good lesson that you accidentally just gave us all is, you know what? Instead of watching something about current events right now, why don't we all, for the next day or two, read something about history at large, or zoom out a little bit and let's read. I'm going to do this. I'm going to read something or listen to something about an historical event that did not happen in my lifetime. And maybe I'll bring that back later this week and we can talk
Yeah.
about it.
Well, that's kind of where I was going with that Good Life Handbook too. Even though it was written now, it's a rewriting of something from like early centuries. I think it's the first century of the Common Era, right? AD. So it's like, so to read that, it just kind of puts things in perspective. You're like, wow, they were dealing with the same crap that we deal with right now. Like they're stressed out. They forget how good they have it sometimes. They let external circumstances dictate their emotions. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
Um, hey, I just want to say, Matthew brought up Shokran, the Moroccan restaurant in Chicago, has the most authentic Moroccan tea I've had in Chicago. Agreed 100%. Matthew, I went there probably 25 years ago. That's like 20 years after I was in Morocco. And it was the closest I've felt to being in Morocco. I could smell it, I could feel it, I could taste it. It was awesome. So much love to them. And hope that all these restaurants that we love are finding a way to pull through, and we're
Oh,
ordering
man.
from them and doing whatever we can to keep them operational out on the other side of this madness.
Yeah.
Pops just joined, and Jay, I hate to say this, but I got to be out because I have something I have to get on for work.
Yeah.
But this has been a fun one, not really product focused, which has been nice, other than some green tea. So, hey, show us some love if you haven't already, wherever you are and whatever platform you're on, and we'll pick someone and send out some of my favorite tea on the planet to you. Okay, the China Wu Yuan Jasmine Green Organic Tea, because it is good.
All
All right.
that Jasmine.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us. It's really cool.